Watching my ex thrive, it's a beautiful thing. It's really triggering.
And 9 times out of 10, women cannot fathom the idea of men doing better without them.
And gets out of a divorce or a breakup will increase. When a woman gets a divorce or a breakup with her boyfriend, her body count increases.
They rarely, if ever, get in relationships with women. They find peace and happiness.
That's not fair!
They're not giving more. They've just found somebody that can accept less.
Hey guys, welcome back to More to Life. Now, before I get into this video, I ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get all my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get right into this.
My ex-wife is married for over a decade now to a phenomenal guy who is perfect for her. And he's nothing like me, by the way. Like if you met him and you met both of us, you'd go, well, no one could love both of these guys. It's like, if you like this flavor, you wouldn't like this flavor. Like, I am impatient, fast talking, like, skip to the end. We got to land this plane. Come on. And he's therapist. He's chill. He's like patient, and they're perfect together. And I can say that as someone who loves her and loved her, you know, and knows her or knew her. Like, and I think if we can, you know, if we can radically view honestly, like, without jealousy, without the sense of, like, look at it and just go, yeah, okay. Like this is the love this person needed. Like, that doesn't mean my love sucks. It just means it wasn't the right one for this person, you know?
Man, that guy has such a positive outlook. I don't know if I could be that positive. Well, you look at his age, I could do it. Congratulations to you, brother.
Watching my ex thrive, it's a beautiful thing. It's really triggering for me because I walked away.
Your choice,
Literally
consequences.
having to start over after 12 years.
These women fail to understand is that these men are finally lifted from the shackles that is being tied down to someone that doesn't appreciate them.
Finally!
So they thrive. Basically, what happens with a lot of women is they actually start to believe that the men that they're with would never make it without them. Some women in relationships build up so much resentment that they can only look at their partners and think to themselves, this man would be absolutely helpless without me. There is a vast majority of women that they will never admit this, but they don't want their ex back, but they also don't want to see them doing better than them. That's why you hear so many women like, oh, I went to go check his social media to see if he's still doing good or if he's doing better without me. And 9 times out of 10, women cannot fathom the idea of men doing better without them. It's almost like their inflated ego just simply won't allow it. I think one of the biggest mistakes that women make is they are under the assumption that they're almost going to have like an open relationship after divorce or separation with their ex, where they're close friends, they're still talking every day, maybe they're swapping stories about their dating lives. And the reality is that once they both move on, that relationship is going to shift. And a lot of women expect these men to still be their safety nets. And when these men have opted out because they've moved on, they're doing great, they're doing better, the women cannot handle it. And it's almost like some of these women want their cake and they want to eat it too. And they'll never admit that. They'll also never admit that they made a mistake by leaving in the first place, because they have been brainwashed into believing that divorce is cool, single motherhood is cool, being single is cool, and you're so free to do whatever you want. But sorry, you don't get wife treatment as the ex-wife. Okay, bye.
It's sad that women think that way, but that's what society pushes out. That's the number one thing. It's actually pushed out. They manufactured in these women's brains. You got something out there waiting for you. Leave him. You'll find someone else. No, there's not another guy waiting at the finish line saying, hey, once you get divorced, I'm going to free you once again. By that time, you're already used up. And for a guy, especially if a guy does the inner work, usually what men do is you see them work on themselves. You see them save money because now they can save money because they may not be spending money on you. So they develop themselves. And some guys actually do the work and get better. That's what happens.
Fair. That is not fair! That is not fair!
Okay, while I feel for this person, you guys, there's no way that you had a breakup and suddenly your ex-partner, whoever, ex-husband, ex-wife, just suddenly became a new person overnight. People are in toxic relationships, so sometimes it takes two to tango. Sometimes people are just straight up abusers. But here's the thing. It's very, very unlikely that this person is just suddenly a new person and able to give to the level that you needed. What is more likely is that they have found somebody that is just satisfied with, maybe you need an 8 and they were only giving a 4. And now they have found somebody that is satisfied with a 4. They're not giving more. They've just found somebody that can accept less.
My point exactly.
She's so right. When she said it, it was hitting my soul. That's what it is. And that's why you have guys out there like the passport bros, right? A lot of those guys, I'm passport bro myself, but I was in divorce. Well, at least not right away. But let me explain myself. A lot of guys are leaving and they're going overseas. Do you think a woman in another country is not okay with the 4? A woman in another country is probably okay with a 2, right? And a guy's going over there and bringing that. And why is a 2 okay? You don't need much more than a 2. Maybe even a 1. Maybe even a 0.5. Guys, it's a big difference. Like, just recently, a guy, I was giving a conversation to a guy. He was paying $2,000 a month for his rent. That was 12 months where I was living at one point in the Philippines. Of course, now it's more, but still, it's close to that. I'm gonna be paying what, $3,000-4,000 now. I think it's still good. That's better than $2,000 a month. So guys are leaving and finding that a lot of times, or they will be staying home and finding that. A guy can stay home and find a woman that's okay with a 4. Why? Because not every woman. It is a lot though. A lot of women are like this, but not everybody. So this was a shot.
You're in.
So what, I'm supposed to be a guy without a wife now? What am I supposed to do? Whatever I want, whenever I want? I'm gonna get crow's feet from smiling too much.
Sorry, Peter. It's gonna be quite an adjustment.
Seriously, who's gonna greet me in a shapeless sweatshirt when I come home?
Meg, maybe?
Who's gonna slap a tarantula of shampoo hair on the wall of the shower?
It's the little things you miss.
Who's gonna go, ooh, careful, while I'm parking?
Sometimes this is the hardest part of my job.
Who's gonna fill up my DVR with Lady Judge programs?
I don't make the rules.
Oh, and I suppose now I'll have to start every road trip with a full tank of gas?
I took an oath, Peter.
What am I supposed to do, masturbate comfortably in bed?
The law's the law.
And I guess I'm gonna have to be on time to every party and stay real late?
Yeah, why do they do that?
And so long, Handmaid's Tale, I guess.
2 or 3 more jokes, Peter.
So long, This Is Us.
Last one, maybe.
So long, See in My Dining Room.
You got a stronger one to end on?
So long, 2 a.m. blanket pulls.
Ah, there we go.
A lot of guys have been through that. That's why it's funny. It was hitting home. I know a lot of y'all can relate.
What happens after a breakup or a divorce? Let's get to it. When a man gets out of a divorce or a breakup, his income will increase. When a woman gets a divorce or a breakup with her boyfriend, her body count increases.
That's about right. That's about right.
That's just the hardcore truth. When a man breaks up with a woman, he's working on his fitness, he's working on his mental, he's working on his finances, so that way he could be a better man for the next woman. A better him will attract a better next. When a woman breaks up with a man or divorces him, she wants to explore. She want to see what she been missing. She going on girls trips. She getting flew out. She going to brunches. She going on multiple dates, getting dug out by multiple men. She's going to ride the cock carousel until she's ready to settle down again.
Real talk.
That's why you never take a woman seriously that just got out of a long-term relationship or a marriage, because she's in her 304 phase. No matter how many bodies she got or she accumulated, it's always going to be a sucker out there that's willing to wife her up and take care of her. Fellas, whenever you get out of a relationship or a divorce, just focus on you, focus on building the best version of yourself, and everything else gonna fall in place. Don't worry about what she doing. If she wanna appreciate her value, that's her. But you should be worrying about appreciating your value. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments. Free game.
And that's what most men do now. You hear all the time women saying, "Oh well, he needs to go to therapy." What better therapy than what men do? Men getting a divorce or a breakup, right? They hit the gym. They work on themselves. That right there is mental therapy. What's exercising? You know what exercising does for your body? Exercising stops you from aging. Seriously. And pumping that weight, you're releasing stress. So you need to release that stress. So from pushing, man, men take the right route, the best route ever to take after these things happen. So we do the inner work and we do the outer work too. And we become a whole new person. Sometimes a man, after he's been in a long-term relationship, may be fat, out of shape. He may say, you know what? Let me build myself up to a nicer body. Like my cousin, when he came out here, he was big. He was 270 pounds. He said to himself, I can't come back out there like that. So right now, he's at about 225 pounds. And he's working on getting smaller. I won't be surprised. By the time he's here, he'll be 200 pounds. But that's how men do it. Goals. We set a goal for ourselves and we accomplish it.
Most men that get divorced, they get married again because they need somebody to like take care of them. Most women that get divorced stay alone because they're like, I don't need to be somebody's like
Stop the cap.
parent. I'm going to just chill by myself and it's way better alone.
I think that men never usually want to get divorced in the first place.
Because you guys get so much more out of a marriage.
But I think it's because men generally are far more moral and they adhere to a much stricter moral guideline than women tend to. Well, I mean, you can shake your head, but you have nothing to back any of the things you're saying up. Nothing. Why is it that women are initiating divorces?
Because they have to do too much for a man.
For my new single life checklist.
A lot of the time, women are willing to go and be a single mother because they're a single mother at home with their husband. So they don't want to take care of an additional person. They want to just take care of themselves and their children. They don't want to have to also take care of a full-grown man.
Care of everybody too.
You're assuming that he is. Most men don't do that. Most men aren't doing that.
Men are out working their asses off for their women. What do you mean?
The same argument. But the guy broke it down. Women stay single because they're riding the carousel. They're experiencing being alone. Men are the ones who are really doing the work. That's it. That's what's happening. It's called lying, telling a lie, and telling the truth. And usually men are more truthful.
We were married previously.
Okay.
Jess was also married previously.
Yes.
And y'all both got married. First of all, you got married fast. My brother was like, Ty, she the one. Tell us a little, like, what was it about her that you were like, I'll miss out on just being single for a while?
Yeah. I know a lot of people felt like I went from one to the other. And a lot of people like, you need to heal. You need to take time for yourself. You need to learn yourself, because who I was at 20 is not who I was at, 30. Everybody that knows Jess know how cool and amazing she is. Personality. The girl fine, y'all. She is fine. Beautiful. Okay. So she easy on the eye. So that all played a part, but her personality, her like how humble she is. Like I told her before, I was like, looking at you, not knowing you, I thought, this girl probably like she's real, like, not stuck up, but like she got a certain type she ain't rocking with. But nah, she was real down to earth. So just connecting with her and getting to know her. You know how you have that feeling in the beginning when you're in a relationship and it's exciting? That feeling never died.
Wow.
The man lucked out, right? He found another one. Actually, he was open to it. I'll be honest with you. I don't think I would have tried to find someone else that fast. I know a lot of guys wouldn't. Because I tell you right now, a lot of guys that's happening to them, they're traveling to the Philippines or to Thailand, and they're staying single for a while. If they get a girl, they won't get married right away. That's just what guys are choosing to do. But shout out to him for being a bigger man and doing that, because I would do it too. I would do it too. With the way I see things and my moral compass, I would get married right away again too.
think I've come to the conclusion that a lot of us are in unhealthy marriages, not because we married the wrong person or our spouse is unhealthy or we are unhealthy, but because our ideas of marriage in of themselves are unhealthy. My husband and I were having a really long, deep conversation last night, and we realized that, like, we can never be in a healthy relationship, in a healthy marriage, if we continue to hold on to the ideas of what we believe marriage is, or what we believed marriage was when we got married. And I don't necessarily think that it's just a religious issue of, like, growing up in a high demand religion, like what that taught us about marriage, but I think it's societal as well. This idea that being married completes you, that you
see what you just said? It's not that we were, religion. Religion's a big thing. You see how she's speaking about how she spoke it out with her husband. Great so far. Younger woman could learn. Listen and learn.
Need someone to fulfill your needs, that you have like this soulmate, this second half. Those are codependent ideas. So for the first time in 16 years, which is how long we've been married, we've been able to step back and say, okay, what do we want marriage to be? It's just so fascinating to have these conversations, to be married 16 years and be like, oh, we essentially have to like start over. And to be honest, it would probably be easier in a lot of ways to like cut ties, get divorced, and start over with someone new that holds the same ideals as you, because you don't have those 16 years or however long of baggage that you're trying to compete with, that you're trying to reconcile. But at least for us, we want to do that together. We would have never been able to have this conversation 5 years ago. Hell, I don't even think a year ago we've been able to have this conversation. It's so cool to see how our personal growth is now like coming into our marriage. And I hope, beyond all hope, that we can work to like heal that as well as healing ourselves while doing it together.
Wow. Congratulations to her. A woman who spoke about working it out. How often do you see that? You don't see that all over social media. You do see it. You see a lot of women speaking up for it. I think we need more of those videos so women don't just keep saying, women giving up. Oh, no, it's wrong. Everything's wrong. I'm done. They've been doing it for 16 years. Me, myself, I've been doing it for 9. We need to see this more.
Some ladies knowingly that they married down. So married down means the husband is not making as much as her, or the position, the status, the family background somehow is lower, and you choose to get married. Now, nothing wrong with that. But that being said, those ladies have to remember, why did you get married? If you're expecting that he will change, he will progress, he will make more, sure, there are good intentions. But you have to start from knowing that that's what you signed up for. And because that's what you signed up for, accept. Start with, what do you want in this relationship? That grow old with, and you don't mind, then you will have a happy relationship. But if you're always expecting, knowing that he's lesser, but hoping that he will catch up, then you'll be putting his trouble.
She's right. And, I see a lot of women doing it. I won't lie. Women that are independent. I saw a lot of women stick to the tradition of being married. They were the breadwinners, right? They were the top earners in the family, where the husband wouldn't work. He would be the stay-at-home dad. There's a lot of that going on nowadays. And if a woman looks at her like, I have my husband at home, I'm going to make sure he's okay. I can never be in that role as the husband. But if the man is okay with it and she is not doing what she explained, looking at it like, oh, I want to be more, she's not doing that, and she's satisfied, that's a win. A win is a win, right? A win is a win because, yeah, he's taking on a female role, but not really. He's taking on a husband role. He's still taking on a dad role. It's not how I would see is the right thing to do, or most guys that are watching this video would see, but at least they're married, right? They're not getting divorced. That's what I care about.
You know what I just realized about relationships? A guy starts off by putting 100% in the beginning of a relationship. And over time, that will slowly go down from like 100 to 95 to 90 to 80 to 85. And then you notice, and you only notice when it goes down to like 75 or 80%, and then you say something. And then when you say something, he puts back 5% effort and you're content. You're like, okay, he put in some effort, but it never goes back up to 100 or 90 or 95. It just goes from like that 75 to 80. And then it goes back down again to like 70. And then it goes down to 60. Long story short, it'll just go back down to 10%. When it started at 100, I'm not saying all men do this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but as a woman, I feel like we invest more time and put in more effort as the relationship goes on because it becomes more and more serious. Moral of the story, if you're dating a guy and he starts off at 100% effort and you're noticing over time it's slowly going down, I just think that you deserve better.
That's what leads to so many divorces, right? That mindset. Like, I'll be honest, right? Every woman wants a guy 6 figures. You know, when I started doing more, I was making more, of course. And it's a good thing. But money is not everything. And these women will slowly realize when, look at it, a lot of times, guys, they get the bag, they know women want them. So if a guy is 6 foot 6 figures and all the other sixes, he knows it's over. He's getting tail left and right. And he doesn't have to pay for it. The woman will shame him, actually. I come from a time, and it's still like that nowadays. Women don't respect guys that throw money at them. They're, oh, I'm going to take you out to dinner and spend. No, that's not working. When the guys is too much like that, oh, I'm going to provide for you. That's looked down upon where I'm from. It is by women. It is. And it still is to this day. Women like the guys that don't have to pay for it. That's just a known thing. And things are going to be up. Things are going to be down. But you can't make moves like that as a woman just because things are now, oh, let me find somebody else. No. It's never in a cycle then.
Work today, and I was talking to one of my coworkers, and he was explaining a situation where he had been friend-zoned and how he was absolutely devastated about how he had done all these nice things for this girl. They had hung out a lot. He had been there for her when she was going through a really tough time. How he really didn't think it was fair that after all of that, she said no to going out with him. It got me thinking that us as a society spend way too much time sympathizing for the man when he has been friend-zoned, which is not a thing, by the way. People are not obligated to sleep with you just because you're nice to them. And absolutely no time sympathizing for the women who are put in these horribly awkward situations. You start to build what you think is a great friendship with this person. You confide in each other, you hang out with each other, you support each other during hard times. You know, what friends do.
Friends with benefits?
All the while, and completely unbeknownst to you, the only reason this man is spending any time with you whatsoever is because he wants to. And then, when you finally realize that that's what's happening and you reject him, not only are you hurt because you're losing what you thought was a friend, but now this is pretending he's the victim.
He is the victim.
But those types of guys don't even approach me. They don't even. Let's just be real.
Okay, so could you be with a guy that makes $100,000 a year?
No. For what? That's $274 a day.
Right, yeah.
I know. Okay, so dinner for 2, and if we add alcohol, it's going to be a $300 check. Spend that whole man's day, like, no.
Somebody broke up with you. Right after the breakup, they're going to have more fun than they have had in years. So if you're watching social media, you're going to have a broken heart because they are going to be going out all the time, maybe traveling, maybe with someone new right away. They are trying to put a life back together again. They are focused in that direction. They've probably been thinking about it for a little bit, and I'm sorry to say that, but they do go to the other end of the spectrum. So if you are saying to yourself, they never even did this stuff before, I have never seen them do this, and you are feeling more like, were they that unhappy that now they're living their best life? Everybody does this after a breakup. After a little while, it settles and they kind of go back to the person they were. If they were more of a homebody, more of someone that just kind of didn't go out all the time, that's where they're going to return to. Right after the breakup, watch out because they're having a blast while you are crying your eyes out. That'll change.
Yeah, she's about for women mostly. Men usually understand you got to get out there and get over it.
If you're going through a breakup and you're a woman, and you see the man that you used to be with is very happy, and it breaks your heart because it makes you believe that they never loved you, because how could they actually be so happy after the breakup. Let me explain psychology behind that and the truth behind that. As women, we deal with emotions every day. We're emotional human beings. And we have a monthly cycle since a young age that forces us to deal with our emotions, know how to process emotions. Men don't, they suppress. In the beginning, they feel a relief. They actually start socializing even more. And they think that they've healed, but the truth is, they're actually just procrastinating.
No wonder you're single.
Which means that their pain is going to be double. So once you've healed, that's when they actually come back to you. And that's when the pain begins for them.
No, it's wrong. It's wrong. It doesn't begin because a man he's healing through medication. Let me explain something. See, woman, she probably doesn't work out. She probably does. But when you're working out in the gym, you're repairing it. As you're going through pain, you're dealing with it through sweat and tears. That's something for a man. Women don't understand it. To us, that's our everything. That's what happens. We go from you to work. That turns to everything. Then we go from work to work. And then we go to save. And then we stack up our money. A man turns into a whole nother person. It's not her. He's not thinking about pain after that. He's thinking about moving forward, progress. That's how we are. That's how we're wired. There's no pain. There's no suffering. There's only happiness. After we get past the pain, because we're going through the pain at the moment, but we're getting through it through healing, through doing certain things. That's our medication right there that we need.
Men who have taken a break from dating, what positive changes have you experienced?
You asked a great question, so let's talk about it. And ladies, let's be clear. Unlike the Panda Bears, I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. First, men save a ton of money. Money that they can then invest in themselves rather than wasting it on expensive dates trying to meet the ridiculous expectations.
That's what we do, right?
Yes. Oh, sorry. High standards that today's women have. Next, they have more time and energy. Trying to date today is mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausting for men. Men have found that by walking away, they can go do things that they enjoy instead of wasting hours swiping right on dating apps or trying to get the attention of women, most of whom think that they're entitled to a 10 when at best they themselves are a 3, 4, or 5. And finally, when men give up on dating and relationships, they find the one thing that they want more than anything else. The thing they rarely, if ever, get in relationships with women. They find peace and happiness. The bottom line, ladies, is this. You can keep doing what you're doing, blaming men for anything and everything, or you can take responsibility for your actions.
Emotional damage!
Acknowledge that your expectations of perfection are completely absurd and take accountability for the way you've mistreated men all these years. The choice is yours, but let's be very clear, ladies. Until you decide to choose the latter, the reality is more and more men will continue to walk away, and the likelihood that you'll end up alone is only going to increase.
What do you think keeps a man happy?
I would say what keeps a man happy is they actually require a lot more emotional investment than we think. What we are taught is they just want to be attracted to you. They just want you to give them, and they just want you to give them peace, and they don't even define peace. They just say give them peace. But all of that is actually negated by the fact that they actually want far more emotional investment than they say. A man doesn't have the luxury of going to his friends saying how he felt, or going to his, telling people his problems. So when he finds a wife that he can be himself with, and she shows emotional investment, she cares about what's going on with his life, with his physical health, with his, if he's eaten, if he's not eating, she genuinely invests in him emotionally, he's far more happy. But whereas when a man cheats, a lot of men think, oh, he just wants somebody young or somebody else, but usually he just wants to feel desired by somebody else. He just wants to feel loved by somebody. If you deprive them and starve them of love and attention, they'll go everywhere else.
Yeah, and that's how guys feel somewhat, but we're getting through. Men will get through. Men We'll get through the hard times. That's why we'll get another woman. We get a woman that settles for less, and we continue to move on. And that woman deals with us. We work with them. We do whatever we feel we can, and we stay at a 4, right? We don't change. We stay at a 4, but we find someone that will deal with that 4 rather than pushing it to 8. And more guys are looking to do that because you realize there's definitely more to life than dealing with anything that's not like that.